John 1, 1 to 18. Now, all the Gospels, again, are written later than the rest of the books of the New Testament, but yet they tell the story, of course, from the beginning of Jesus' life, so we're going to be reading the Gospels first. All four Gospels are officially anonymous. We don't know who wrote them, necessarily. Tradition is very strong on all four authors, including John, so let's go ahead with the name John. I'll always just speak of John as the author. We'll talk more about the authorship as we get to the end of the book, because he actually says, the second to last verse of John, the author says that the beloved disciple, whoever he is, gave him, the author, most of his information. So I like to think of John, the book of John, as the memoirs of Jesus' best friend, and we'll talk about him later. Well, in the beginning was the Word. Let's talk about how Jesus is defined again. John writing at the end of the story, telling us how it all sets up from the beginning. The Word was with God, and the Word was. Now remember how in the Old Testament we had the word Elohim to refer to everything above the dotted line. Spirits, deities, divine beings are all considered Elohim, anthropoi, or Adam. Now it's in Greek anthropoi. Anthropos is below the dotted line. So in the New Testament now we're switching out the Greek word theos in place of Elohim. How many Elohim are there in the Old Testament? There are many. And there's one creator Elohim and many created Elohim. And here we go in the New Testament, just using that same cosmology as we define who Jesus is. He was with Yahweh. He was with theos. And again, always take the capital G off the word God in your reading, because they didn't have capitals. So think of it this way. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with theos, meaning Yahweh, and the Word was theos. So we simply note that this being, whoever he is at the beginning, he is a theos, and so is Yahweh. Of course, how many is this? It's two. No problem in the Greek mind, or in the biblical mind. Writing as John does, that you can have multiple theoi, and so far we have two. All things were made by him. Now, here he starts to give us that impression of Genesis 1. All things were made through him. That's mirroring Genesis 1:1. And in him was even life. And that idea that God gives life in Genesis 1, well, here now Jesus gives life. So there is a purposeful mirroring of the function or the role of this theos to this theos. And I would even say they're being equated. This theos, whoever he is yet, we haven't been told, is functionally and in role, he is equated to Yahweh, the Creator. He was in the world. John, I think that's verse 14 or so. So now we find out that this theos comes into the world. He came unto his own, that would probably be the Jew, and his own did not receive him. But as many as do receive him, and John will use that word receive, lambano, in the sense of believing. And again, we'll talk a lot about believing in the book of John. But as many as do believe in him, to them he gives power to become children of God. Now, what seems to be going on, again, John is telling the story from the beginning, what he learned through the entirety of Jesus' life, is that a person, a human being, who attaches himself to Jesus, think of how our picture went with attaching yourself to Yahweh, but here it is, if a person attaches themselves to Jesus, this God will treat this person as he does this person. And again, that's a lot there, but you get to become a child of God because you believe in the Son of God, will be one of the themes of John. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and then he uses the word monogenes, the only begotten of God. Now that's the Old English. Really, we've learned a lot more about the meaning of Greek words over time. The word monogenes means unique. So the unique one of the Father. Now here he is really trying to, for a person who knows their cosmology, they may be wondering, how does this theos, we know from the Old Testament how special this theos is because he's the creator of all things. But now we have a second theos, and we're wondering, well, how does that work? And so he says, well, this is a unique theos. We're dealing with someone who is absolutely unique in the story of Scripture. We are being dropped in John 1:1, or John 1:14 and on, with a story of this is totally new. Again, you can maybe go back and find Jesus in type and so forth in the Old Testament. We didn't try that a lot because, again, I don't think that was the purpose of it. Because what John 1 is saying is now we're getting, in this moment of time, a absolutely unique being. Okay? And then 1:18, let's end on that. Fantastic verse. No one has seen Theos at any time. I think it means you have never been able to visualize Yahweh. It's just the way it is. Okay? But then he says, the monogenes Theos. He ties these two words together. Versions really struggle with how to translate John 1:18. The best versions, even like the Net Bible in its notes, I would read that if you have any questions. The best reading in Greek is the monogenes Theos. So it's telling us he's trying to attach this person here to those two words. The unique Theos is the one who declares this God to us. We can't see him, but this unique Theos, he declares Yahweh to us. Well, so how's that for a fun start to our readings in the New Testament?